Hey there, YouTube surfers. Today we've got the Tribit StormBox Blast. This is a Bluetooth speaker. It just came in. I'm going to do a quick unboxing and then we'll talk about it. All right, here we go. And right off the bat, this thing is super heavy. It does weigh 15 pounds, and I was really shocked at how heavy this thing was. All right, so the unboxing was a little bit more difficult than I thought, so I definitely not able to do it with one hand. So anyway, I didn't fully unbox it yet, but this is the Tribit Storm Blast, and I opened up the top here. You can see quite a bit of stuff. I have not opened it further yet, so let's see what we get in here. Probably a plug, I would imagine. Yep, it's a regular power cord. Oh, that's interesting. And you get the StormBox Blast booklet. This thing is heavy, I'll tell you that. So if you compare it to a Sonos Move, which I'll talk about a little later, this thing is triple the weight. So let's try to lift this out of here. Oh, it does have a handle. There we go. That's pretty much it. There's nothing else in the box. Let's take a look at this thing. Give me 1 second. Yeah, it's a beast. It's not really overly large. Probably about the size of a large stick of wood. Yeah, it's pretty hefty though. Let's see what the bottom looks like. We got some rubber feet on the bottom. These are all supposed to light. These are lights on the side. On the top. Let's just see if it's got any juice. Oh, look at that. Power, Bluetooth, volume. Maybe you can change some lights. I'm going to pause the camera and pause the video, and I'll do a review of this in a minute, but so far, this thing looks pretty solid. Let's see, I'm trying to maneuver this with one hand. And we got on the back, USB. Type-C, I believe you can charge it. You can charge a phone off of this, or I believe you can charge it with a USB Type-C as well. It's got an aux in. Some people love, I personally never use anymore. And then your power. And I'm just looking, looks like, I don't know if those are inputs as well. I don't know. Anyway, no, I don't think those are. Yeah, so you got your aux in, your USB-C, and your plug. This is IPX7, so it's splash resistant. Probably leave it in some light rain maybe, but definitely wouldn't want to submerge this in water. All right, folks, it's been almost a week since I purchased the Tribit StormBox Blast. I believe it's 80 watts, 80 or 90 watts. I just want to kind of show a couple of the features and talk about it a little bit. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to play music because of all the copyright issues on YouTube, but I don't think that's going to make a lot of difference anyway, because even with music over YouTube, even if I did play some songs, you wouldn't really be able to hear the sound quality anyways. But what I do want to talk about is what I did with this. So I went camping over the weekend and used it around the campfire and, you know, just outside in general with some friends we were camping with, and it worked really great, obviously. It's the sound. I'll talk about the sound for a second. So the sound quality is, I would say, I'd give it 4 out of 5 stars. I'd say 4 stars because it's not as crisp. If you're looking for like really crisp, high definition sound, this probably is not the Bluetooth device for you. But if you want decent sound with some medium to high bass, and very loud, very, how do I describe this? I guess a good sound stage, like it feels like you're in front of a big speaker, but you're really not. But I don't know if I want to use the term muddy. I say in some songs it's probably a little bit muddy sounding. There's not a lot of highs, not a lot of treble, but the treble is there. But for the price, $150, I think I paid, it's pretty good. I'd recommend it still. I do have a Sonos Move I want to talk about. And if you're really into, this is about a $400 speaker. If you're really into high quality sound, this would probably be better. This doesn't have I would say this probably doesn't have as much bass as the StormBox, but the clarity is there. You got more clarity with this, which I would hope when you're comparing a $150 speaker to a $400 speaker, I would hope the $400 speaker would have a better sound quality. Loudness, I'd say the Storm Blast is probably louder. StormBox Blast is probably louder overall. But again, this is no slouch either. This goes pretty loud. The big advantage to this, if anyone has one of these, I've had this about 2.5 years now. If you do have the Sonos Move, it has Wi-Fi built in, which is very rare. So it's great for around the house. You don't have to worry about walking away with your phone, and then you know how that goes. The sound cuts out. You're out with your friends, whatever, in the yard. You go in the house. Hey man, the sound cut out, and that's a real pain. So that's what's nice about the Sonos. Hooks up to your home Wi-Fi. It has Bluetooth as well, but does your usually I use Wi-Fi probably 90% of the time over Bluetooth just for that reason. But the other thing, I didn't really want to get this into a big comparison video, but I'll just talk a little bit about it. Spec-wise, I think this says 5 pounds. This thing is 15 pounds, so it's pretty hefty. But that being said, it's with the carrying handle, it's really, it's convenient. It's a nice, solid product, very solid. So yeah, I just want to talk a little bit about the differences there. I thought about getting a second one of these to pair. That's one thing I do miss about having like a speaker of this size is you kind of miss that. You don't really get that, obviously, get that stereo sound. You get kind of sound from wherever it's at, obviously. And it'd be nice to have like 2 of them. But these things don't really go down in price. Even used ones I've noticed are like $380. And some of them have, if you ever go like on eBay, for example, some of them have dents in them. Folks are asking $350, it's crazy. So they do not seem to lose their value or go down in price. But anyway, like I said, pretty good, really good for high sound quality. But if you just want some loud sound, and again, this isn't terrible sound quality by any means, it's still very good. It's more immersive because it's 2 speakers. There's 2 tweeters in here, not a lot of treble. But again, it's a great speaker. I'll just talk about I'll show you the app real quick. Let me pull that up. So right now, this is the app. The nice thing about it is it tells you the battery percentage. So I've had this thing running, I don't know, about 8 hours or so, and it's still at 60%. Here's the settings, or now it says 50. Sometimes it does update a little slowly, I've noticed. The other thing with telling you the battery life, there's only 2 light modes. There's this one that changes colors. Let me demonstrate. I think I can just demonstrate with something on mute so there's a song playing now. You can see it. The lights are going to the beat, which you can't hear obviously, but this is the one color mode, which is the one I like the best. Let me turn off the light real quick. If it makes a difference. Really cool though. Again, this is, how can I show you how big, let me put something next to it for a comparison. Well, here, my phone, how about that? It's hard to get a size feel on just looking at it. So this is a 13 Pro Max, and that's a 6.7 inch screen. So you get a feel for how big that speaker is. Pretty big. This is 13 Pro Max next to a Sonos. So, but anyway, you can see that it scrolls through the different colors. There's like 6 or 7 colors, which I think is really cool. You can turn them off. You know, if it's a daytime, you don't need them on. Just turn it off with that button, turn it back on. Here's the other color mode, which you can control through the app, or you can toggle with this. That's one color. The other one is just rainbow. I prefer the other one. This one's just, to me, is kind of boring, but everybody has their own preference. You got volume up and down. Pretty basic stuff. You got this X bass button, but I found it really, in my opinion, it doesn't really do much. It changes the sound, but it doesn't really change it for the better. So those are the light modes. Let me show you. There's light mode 1 and 2 that I just kind of went over. As I changed it, you can see it changed to the rainbow. Okay, an equalizer. That's a nice feature. I think when you hit X bass, let me try this. Does it switch? Yeah, it does. Okay, so preset, it goes to this X bass. Oops, sorry. Goes to this X bass preset is what this button up here does. But I found you could make your own custom EQ settings. You can name it whatever you want. So I created my own. I just called it main. Anyway, that's kind of what I like to set it to, and it gives it a nice full sound. You can do flat. This is just, you know, flat. And then I created one more for more treble, because sometimes I want to listen to some acoustic music, so that's how I set it. So that's just nice. You can make your own settings and listen to it and see what you like. And it saves the 3 I created: more treble, flat, and main. So there you go. I probably haven't experienced, oh, you can also do updates, software updates, or firmware, I mean, with the StormBox, which I did. Pretty basic app overall. You can play and pause and do the next song. Oh, the other buttons on here, you can do the middle button, double tap. This is just like if you have headphones, double tap will go to the next track. I think single tap will pause, and then if you do a triple tap, I believe it'll either go to the beginning of the song you're playing or go to the previous track. I think it goes to the beginning of the song you're playing. Yeah, overall, I would buy it, you know, $150. It's worth it. It does have these bass ports get, you know, really pumping here when you crank up the music, which is something you don't see too often. Just a regular old school cord to charge it, which I'm still at 60%. So I might just run this thing down and see how long it lasts. But yeah, real basic. I kind of like that it has a real power cord, not a USB-A type deal on it. And this thing really holds good, this flat. So there you have it. What else can I say about it? My friends really liked it. They couldn't believe how cheap, when I told them it was $150, they couldn't believe it. So it's a good buy. Again, don't expect it to sound like, you know, the JBL boombox is probably going to be higher quality. Again, I would hope it would be at $300 or whatever those things cost. Sonos, $400. Better sound quality. Probably not as full of a sound, but it has Wi-Fi. So, you know, you got to weigh your options. So thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. Give it a thumbs up if you liked it. Have a great day.